Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War comes out in 9 days, guys. 9, and I put 4 fingers up because that equals 9. Anyways, one of the things I really loved about Treyarch games is the zombies mode. But when I watched the 8-minute long trailer they made explaining all of the new features and upgrades they're making to Cold War that they released a couple weeks back, I was kind of skeptical. I thought the changes such as the loadout system and all of these new things, I wasn't sure if I liked them or not. But having said that, over the weekend, Treyarch released a blog post explaining all of these new features in detail. And having read them all, I gotta say that I think that I'm quite excited for this new zombies mode. It seems like it's gonna be a really big step up. But yeah, I thought that we could just talk about that today because why not? It's a cool video idea. Before we get started, I just want to plug my Twitch because I stream every Monday and Thursday at twitch.tv/Clickheretogame. The link will be in the description, so go and follow me on there if you feel like it. I'll definitely be playing some zombies on there. But yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the ping system. This one's pretty simple. Basically, they've added in the ping system, which we've seen in Warzone and we've seen in the new multiplayer, and they're adding that to zombies, which I think is a really great idea. You know, if you're playing with some randoms, being able to ping where certain things are, where the perk machines are, where weapons are, that seems like a really good idea. Moving on to weapon rarities, which is one of the things which I was a bit confused about. They tell us that weapons now come in 5 different tiers of rarities, starting with common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. As you get more rare guns, they'll have higher damage outputs and they'll have more attachments. So the example that they give is an uncommon weapon will have plus 50% damage boost and will come with 2 attachments, whereas a legendary weapon will have plus 300 damage and 8 attachments. So there's a big step up from uncommon to legendary. I actually really like this change. I think that it adds so much more variety to the weapons. Like, think about it like this. In a previous game, if there were 10 guns total, you would have your 10 guns and then you'd have the pack-a-punched version, which would mean there would be 20 guns total. But in this one, if there's 10 guns, you have 10 uncommon, 10 common, 10 rare, epic, and that's like 50 guns, and that doesn't include the pack-a-punch versions. So that's really cool. I really like that. Next on the list, I put Loadouts, which is a new thing for zombies, as I mentioned, and I was a bit skeptical about it when they first announced it. So the blog post says the design team considered how loadouts would affect weapon progression gameplay, and as such, loadouts in zombies are simplified compared to multiplayer. You can only bring 1 weapon and 1 field upgrade, which we'll talk about later in the video. The gun will have whatever cosmetics and attachments you put on it. However, the gun will be the lowest rarity available, which is common. So the gun will not be effective after a few rounds. However, Treyarch do say that you can actually upgrade that gun over time. If you really have your favorite custom gun from your creator class, bring it into zombies and you can upgrade it as you go, which in theory means that you have a lot more different ways to play the game. In the old style of game, you'd start off with your pistol, and then the next step up to like mid-game would be use the random box to get a better gun, or to get a gun off the wall. And then the end game for that would be to use the pack-a-punch machine and have the best version of said gun. The fact that you can carry a gun and upgrade it through to the final thing, up to legendary, kind of adds a different pathway, I guess. So, you know, you could still do it the old way, but now you can stick with 1 gun from the beginning to the end if you want to. Or you could probably pick up a gun from the mystery box. Maybe you get a rare gun, and then you decide, okay, I'm not going to roll the dice anymore with the random box. I'll just upgrade this to legendary and then pack-a-punch it. It adds a whole, there's loads of different like ways you can go, lots of different squiggly lines, whereas before it was kind of 1 pathway to the end game. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. So moving on to field upgrades, which is what I just talked about there, being one of the things that you can choose in your custom loadout. So what they tell us about this is they provide a welcome power spike as a part of the core combat loop without making player OP. And they tell us there's going to be 5 of them at launch, starting with Frost Blast, which I actually have video of from their trailer, which creates a blast of wind that deals frost damage and slows enemies. Healing Aura, which summons a beam of energy down to instantly heal yourself and allies to full health. Energy Mine, Mine that deals explosive damage when triggered. Ring of Fire, which boosts damage to those in the ring, burns enemies with fire damage, which lasts for 15 seconds. And they have Ether Shroud, which gives you invisibility for 5 seconds, and enemies won't target you when you're in this mode. They say that we charge the field upgrades by killing zombies, and that the more offensive field upgrades will charge faster than support ones. The example that they give is Healing Aura, which takes double the kills compared to the Mine to charge. They also mention in the blog post that these field upgrades are upgradable. So the example that they gave is that the Healing Aura, once you upgrade it, you will be able to revive people from far away, which is pretty cool. One thing they don't mention in the blog is whether these upgrades that you can make to the field upgrades are permanent or not, which makes me think that they're not permanent. I'm assuming you'll have to upgrade them as you play on a game-by-game basis, unlike the perks, which I'm about to talk about now. Alright, so perks and skill tiers. So in the blog post, they state that there are going to be 6 total perks at launch, with 5 of them being ones we've already seen and 1 new one. The ones that we've already seen, they are Juggernog, which will increase maximum health by 50, Quick Revive, health regen decrease by 50%, and revive ally time decrease by 50%, Speed Cola, which will increase your reload speed by 15%, Stamina Up, which will increase your run and sprint speeds, but they don't give a percentage, and Deadshot Daiquiri, which will move your aim when you zoom in to critical spots. And it also removes scope sway. And the new perk that they've added is called Elemental Pop, which will make every bullet have a small chance to apply a random base ammo effect. And like I mentioned earlier, they have actually made it so you can permanently increase the tier of these perks. So the example that they give is with the new perk Elemental Pop, where there are 3 tiers. So you upgrade it to tier 1, equipment damage will also have a small chance to apply a random base ammo effect. Tier 2, which will reduce mod cooldowns by 20%. And tier 3, when a random ammo mod is applied, it uses your current skill tier instead of the base. So when you upgrade your perks, that will last into the next game, into all the rest of your games for the rest of the time. Which means, you know, you have something that you're aiming to do. The way you upgrade these perks are with things called Ethereum crystals, and I believe you get them from just playing the game, and also if you manage to escape on the Exfil chopper, which I talk about at the end of this video. Moving on to looting and crafting, every zombie has a small chance to drop resources such as salvage, armor, and lethal and tactical equipment such as grenades or monkey bombs. You can even craft Scorestreaks using resources, which is another thing that they've added and they talk about later. The crafting will obviously be done at a crafting table, who would have thought? And in the trailer, actually, I noticed that you can see a crafting table for like a split second, which I'll put on the screen now. But yeah, it's just funny. So that's what a crafting table looks like. Armour and Salvage is next. So what this is you can get armor, which provides 360-degree layer of protection. It can be found as a rare drop for killing enemies or purchased with salvage. Getting hit from zombies will still deal damage to you, but it will be much less. You can also repair armor with armor shards, which are dropped by enemies, or by getting a carpenter power-up. Your armor can also be upgraded 2 levels, which increases its durability and its damage mitigation. Moving on to Scorestreaks, this one's pretty simple. They basically just added Scorestreaks into zombies. So at launch, there will be a combat bow. There will be a sentry turret, which we've seen gameplay of. Also a war machine, which also we've seen gameplay of. It's the grenade launcher. Chopper gunner, again, we've seen gameplay of that in the trailers. And self-revive. They mention as well that you can get these from the mystery box. And they say that if you're playing solo and you call in a chopper gunner, for example, the zombies won't go after you. It will go after the chopper. I don't know how they'll attack the chopper, but they basically won't kill you when you're in this kill streak. One thing they don't mention in the blog is whether you can unlock these via just killing zombies, as in like Scorestreaks, how they would work in multiplayer, which makes me think that you can only unlock them via crafting them using salvage or via the mystery box. The fact that the field upgrades already use the zombie kills to charge them makes me think that this in fact will be only some things that you can get from a random box and from crafting. Last but certainly not least, they talk about the optional Exfil, which will allow you and your friends to try and escape and end the game instead of finishing when you die. So they say that starting at round 10 and every 5 rounds after, so that would be 15, 20, 25 and so on, there will be a radio in the starting area of the map which you can call for Exfil. Once triggered, the round will end and you'll have to reach the Exfil site within the allotted amount of time, with the zombies trying to stop you. When you finally reach the site of the chopper Exfil, it will fly in and you'll have to clear the area to allow it to land. If you get the chopper to land and you get in it without dying, you get bonus XP and raw Ethereum crystals, which is used to upgrade your perks. So yeah, that's everything the blog post had to say. For me at least, it clears up any worries I had about zombies. I think the new zombies game mode is going to be really, really cool. And I love the new systems, all the new progression stuff. It's going to be so good. Yeah, I can't wait until November 13th. I want to thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. If you've made it to the end, please give it a like and a comment or whatever you want to do. Maybe subscribe if you want as well. As I said at the beginning, I do stream on Twitch every Monday and Thursday and some random days as well. So feel free to go in there and give me a follow. The link will also be in the description down below. But apart from that, I want to thank you all for watching. This has been Ryan, and I will catch you all next time.